10 more things you need to know about the GoPro Fusion. You guys might have already seen my review of the Fusion, and I think we can all agree it's an awesome camera. However, there was 10 things I forgot to mention that are pretty important. The first thing is that there's two stabilization modes. There's full stabilization and anti-shake. Full stabilization means you can stay locked onto one direction only, regardless of which direction you point the camera. Anti-shake, however, means the orientation is locked onto the person instead of the background. You can adjust this in Fusion Studio, so depending on just how dizzy you want to make your audience, you can choose A or B. Next is the battery life. We know the Fusion's battery is pretty big, and I've found from experience it lasts way longer than the average 360 camera. When I set it up to record at 5.2K and just let it roll, it went for over an hour before it turned off. However, this wasn't due to the battery running out. The battery was still at 45%. It shut off because of overheating. Hypothetically, doing the math, it would last roughly just under 2 hours if you stopped and started your recordings. And then of course, it depends how much you're using it. I was recording continuously non-stop, but if you're stopping and starting, turning the camera off, turning it on, it's probably going to last for a few hours, if not half a day. This brings us to overheating, and does it overheat? Yes, it does. If you're recording 5.2K video, it will overheat eventually. Fortunately though, this is only when you use the battery, because of another awesome feature of the Fusion, which is its ability to plug into AC power. You can record basically forever. Here I did a test to see exactly how long the Fusion would record for when plugged into power, and it kept going and going and going. In my situation, my 128 gig cards allowed me to record for 2 hours and 39 minutes, which is pretty awesome for 5.2K 360 video. I don't know of any other 360 camera that can do that. I have two 128 gigabyte cards in my Fusion, and they ran out. That was the reason it stopped recording. So depending on how much memory you have, you could record for several hours. And when it stops, you can just replace the cards and keep going. The Fusion was still alive 6 hours later and only stopped because of the memory. Take note though that you will have to take out the battery, otherwise the battery will cause overheating and it will turn off. Speaking of battery, another annoyance I have with the Fusion is sometimes it turns itself on and drains the battery without you knowing. I found some nights when I've left it on charging overnight, it had turned itself on in the middle of the night and drained the battery as it was charging. So when I woke up, it had about 80% battery. It doesn't happen all the time, but it is something you do need to keep a close eye on. One issue I talked about in my review video was the lack of a self-timer, making it hard to take photos without physically touching the camera or your phone. Well, something that I forgot about was the fact that the Fusion has voice control. So you can say, GoPro, take a photo, and it'll take a photo hands-free. If you're in a noisy environment, that might make this a little difficult, however, it's an option. Another way to activate your photos and videos is using a GoPro remote. You know the little remotes that come with the GoPro Hero cameras? You can use that with the Fusion as well. So which are the best micro SD cards to use with the Fusion that will prevent overheating? This is the card I've been using, the Samsung 128GB Evo Select. That's been good, it's $39.99, and I bought two of them for the 2 micro SD slots of the Fusion. GoPro recommends you buy this card, and it's listed on their site for $180 for 2 of them. Whereas here you can see they're on Amazon for $31.99 per card. Samsung and SanDisk are both reliable for the GoPro Fusion, and don't forget about the SanDisk Extreme Pro. This is one of the best micro SD cards you'll find for any 360 camera. I would recommend this. However, the Samsung cards I've been using have been great and have not let me down yet. I'll put a link to all 3 cards down in the description. So what's the fastest workflow for getting your footage into Fusion Studio? So I imported all of the footage from this exact video that you're watching into Fusion Studio using 2 different methods. One was I connected the Fusion to my computer via a USB-C cable and imported directly from the camera. The second method was I took the 2 cards out, copied the files to my desktop, and then I imported to Fusion Studio from there. Overall, I found it was faster importing directly from the camera. This is because there's 1 step instead of 2. Results may vary depending on your computer setup, but this is what I got with my brand spanking new fast iMac. The Fusion also shoots basic slow motion 60 frames per second at 3K, so it's an option for good basic slow motion. Don't Don't forget to check out my GoPro Fusion sample pack. It's free. There's a link down in the description where you can download it and take a look at the Fusion photos and videos to see whether it's a camera you're comfortable working with and to see whether it works with your computer. Also, if you like the tiny planets you saw in this video, I've got an ebook that'll teach you everything from A to Z about tiny planets. Check it out, link down there. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more awesome GoPro Fusion videos coming really soon. Also, feel free to check me out on Instagram. My handle is @BenClaremont. I'll put a link to the GoPro Fusion on Amazon down in the description. And until next time, keep capturing your world in 360. This has been your boy Ben Claremont from his hometown of Sydney, Australia, planet Earth, the universe, the solar system, infinity. And I'll see you in the next video.